It's the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. In this video, I'm going to be going over the details on new updates to GTA Online and Reddit Online. But yeah, starting off, first major thing, of course, with it is that Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PlayStation 5 and then Xbox Series X and S is releasing on November 11th of this year, or at least currently. Assuming no delays or anything happen, obviously. But yeah, going beneath that, it just mentions some sort of new updates for Grand Theft Auto Online and Reddit Online are going to be happening throughout May. Pretty sure all the ones throughout May are going to be small update kind of things, like more maps of existing modes and stuff like that. And summer months, mainly June, July, August, maybe kind of early September, going off of the physical months of summer or whatever, up to September 20th or something, I believe it can technically count towards. We'll also bring some of the frequently fan-requested additions and whatnot. But yeah, here starts some of the small stuff, particularly for Grand Theft Auto Online. More deadline modes, more stunt racing and survivals, essentially. However, here it talks about some of the major stuff that actually that's going to be coming out for summer for Grand Theft Auto Online. But yeah, car culture is going back on the streets and stuff. And yeah, says something about showing off rides, free from interference from authorities and other troublemakers. So that's definitely very interesting. It seems you'll finally be able to show off rides and stuff like that without having to worry about any possible police and griefers and stuff like that. Kind of off the wording and all that. Goes on to talk about the underground car meet, so I'm assuming that's kind of what it means with that for sure. And yeah, in addition to the local racing scene, I'm guessing that must obviously mean new vehicles and stuff, or it could mean the stunt races kind of stuff shown earlier. The demand for stolen vehicles apparently has never been higher, so it sounds like more stealing vehicles, kind of like the import-export update that we've had beforehand. So I don't know if this is indirectly going to be a part 2 to the import-export or not. I don't see why they would do a part 2 of an update from quite a few years ago at this point, but yeah. Could kind of be an enhanced version kind of that update, though I could definitely see that being the case. Especially with the second paragraph here. Expect high stakes and high action as creates the streets. Get hold of the latest vehicles on the hot list. But yeah, who knows, it could be something kind of like how we have in the 3D universe, the Grand Theft Auto games, where there's the lists at a garage and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's going to be car lists on certain garages in the game. I don't really see that one being likely. Again, who knows, they could maybe expand on the import-export business. Since they're expanding on stuff like Deadline and stuff like that, they could probably expand on that. So who knows, maybe they could just be building off of that, adding the DLC vehicles that's been releasing since. I'd like to see with the import-export kind of business, of course, that they release a better version of it. That they consistently upgrade with the latest DLC vehicles, because there's no vehicle updates or anything to the existing import-export list. It's all DLC vehicles from late 2016 up to the latest or whatever, I'm pretty sure, that you can source. But yeah, and challenging each other in new race types or take part in a series of multi-part robbery missions. But new race types, probably nothing, of course, huge or anything. Probably going to be along the lines of RC Medito races, special vehicle races, stuff like that we've kind of already had, of course. And multi-part robbery missions definitely seems pretty interesting when it comes to a customization tuners kind of update. Not something I would have entirely expected in an update like that. But yeah, multi-part robbery missions. Hopefully they sound are as exciting as they sound. Hopefully they're not just some simple missions and stuff like that, and like barely any payouts and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a summer update, so who knows, it could be some bunch of like small stuff similar to a summer special, stuff like that. Yeah, next up, it just mentions like 8 new stunt races, which was up here and all that. And also more Deadline modes, 7 new arenas. I believe it already has like 6 or 7 arenas for Deadline. So pretty nice for those who are big fans of Deadline. I definitely think it's one of the better adversary modes out there. Probably one of the more played adversary modes out there for sure, so definitely pretty nice. Especially for those who might not have the Shotaro, because I believe you actually have to play a match at Deadline, and you can get that on the Legendary Motorsport website. So it could definitely be more helpful for that, for those who might have not already unlocked that or anything. But yeah, regardless, I definitely think Deadline's one of the better adversary modes in the game personally. And yeah, survival modes are expanding in new locations for all Los Santos Bowling County. We've already got new survival modes before, so I don't really necessarily see much of the point in that. Regardless, I'm definitely excited to see what they do with some of the new survival modes. Survival modes is definitely one of my favorite modes from like day one of the game. It's definitely pretty nice to see more expansion coming for the survival modes. And Reddit Online. Reddit Online, this time around it starts with the simple stuff and then they go into the more complex stuff. Whereas it was kind of opposite with Grand Theft Online. But yeah, there's going to be 8 new races for the next event week for Reddit Online. It mentions standard races and then open races. So I'd imagine Stunt would be for one type, others would be for the other type of races. Don't really think you would be able to choose between standard and open. Not entirely sure how they all work, 'cause it's been forever since playing that stuff. And yeah, new target and open target races. Again, kind of basically the same case. But yeah, that'll be for May 25th, aka next event week. And then finally, a bunch of major stuff for Reddit Online. Reddit Online Summer Update will get a diverse array of new missions across the world for those looking to step into the criminal underworld. But yeah, Angelo, Bronte's trusted lieutenant, Guido Martelli, is apparently going to have a criminal network, whether it be intimidation, unsavory crimes, or high-stake robberies. Hopefully that last part especially actually happens, and this isn't just like a actiony screenshot to make it seem like a good update. Other times I feel updates where like particular missions definitely had more like potential and stuff, but didn't really maximize on it. So hopefully this is like some outlaw role or something. Though quite frankly, I'm kind of tired of the roles. We've kind of had roles for like the last few to several updates. I kind of like to see them stray away from like the role kind of aspect. I'm sure they could do a great job with it, even with the like role aspect mixed into it as well. Whatever way they go about it, I definitely hope they do very good with it. Also, apparently, Angelo, Bronte, and Guido Martelli are apparently like a couple characters more that will be coming back from like the story mode. From what I've heard, so that's definitely pretty cool. And one thing I definitely really want to see, in addition to train robberies, if this is actually a train robbery on screen here, that would definitely be pretty nice, is I would like to see the like war wagon from one of the like couple legendary bounties from the previous update. I'd like to finally be able to own the like war wagon from that. So that's definitely something I would like to see with that for sure. But yeah, this can make or break the game, I feel for sure. I feel especially Reddit Online is definitely in dire need of content, no doubt. And much more. Expanded and enhanced versions will have more features, and as mentioned before, of course, the release date's now November 11th, 2021. Interestingly, as an added bonus, they mentioned this summer's updates to GTA Online will include special benefits for players to take advantage of in these expanded and enhanced versions when they drop. So it sounds like the enhanced versions will have like exclusive features with the upcoming updates when those versions drop. But yeah, and also, one of my favorite parts for sure, in honor of the upcoming 20th anniversary of the genre-defining Grand Theft Auto 3. It will be even more fun surprises to share, including some specifically for GTA Online players. So of course, going from the wording, it definitely sounds like there will be stuff particularly with the game itself, not just celebration stuff for GTA Online. So that seems to be an anniversary they're very willing to celebrate, because a lot of their anniversaries they don't really bother with much, even if it's like a 10-year anniversary and stuff like that. Like for example, I think a couple days ago it was like the LA Noire one or something, and they only made like a simple retweet of something, I think, for example. So yeah, very exciting to see that they seem to want to do some big stuff for the Grand Theft Auto 3 anniversary. Some ideas I definitely have for GTA Online would be having some more like classic vehicles from Grand Theft Auto 3. We have certain classic vehicles, I'm pretty sure, for Grand Theft Auto 3 already. Like, I don't think it's specifically called something, but I think like the Torero, for example, might be like a vehicle from Grand Theft Auto 3. I believe like the Penetrators, kind of like the GTA 3 Infernus and stuff like that. So I'd like to see some classic GTA 3 vehicles for sure. Something like a Kuruma Classic, for example, would be pretty cool. Or having something like the Cartel Cruiser would be pretty nice even. I definitely really like the Cartel Cruiser, but I don't really know if they would do gang cars. Though they don't really have to do the gang cars like directly, they can kind of make references to them with like liveries or something. Definitely some ideas that I think would be pretty cool, no doubt, for the GTA Online specific things. Obviously for the game itself, we'll probably have to wait and see what they do, obviously, but yeah. And yeah, all this stuff here pretty much is nothing really new. But I haven't really addressed it on an event week stream, but yeah, for those who don't know, the last couple months, you have to go through like the PlayStation Store now. It's not like automatic with like logging in or anything. That's like the updated way of getting the 1 million. For those who might have not known for any reason. And yeah, finally, with much more to be revealed, stay tuned to Rockstar Newswire for details on future updates, weekly bonus-filled events, and more. But yeah, that's finally going to be it for this video going over the new updates for Grand Theft Auto Online, Red Dead Online. Hope you enjoyed.